Shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom, right? I want to say shalom to everybody. Hope everybody's having a peaceful day, man, a peaceful Sabbath so far. Um, as you can see here, it's a Freestyle Friday. Before I do that, let me go ahead and let me take us off this side. Hold up.
It's glitching? What just happened?
Brother had took all of us off the screen, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't,
he's trying to show the background.
yeah. I don't. Hold up. But I forgot you can't really hold up. I know how to do it. There we go. Man.
How you doing magic? Man, that's off, bro. What the
I
world
just
going
want
on?
to show the screen. I think there's a present. There you go. So I think they can still hear me. So yeah, man. So Shalom. This is our Passover calendar. The feast days right here to the right or to the left. Then the new moon on the other side. If you want to keep up with us, we do have Passover coming up April 3rd, following that unleavened bread, right? But it is a freestyle Friday, right? It's a freestyle Friday. Y'all see the title of the lesson. It says Snitches Get Salvation. Oh, I almost said stitches. Snitches get salvation, right? And we're gonna go into that. I got a video I want to play, and then after that video, I got 5 precepts, 5 scriptures. We'll go into going into why snitches get salvation, right? Because we know in our community, the phrase snitches get stitches scares people from snitching. It scares people from telling the truth. It scares people from warning the people, right? But snitches, according to God, get salvation. So I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who sent an instrument of salvation for the nation, and that nation is Israel, right? Shalom to the 12
Okay.
tribes. Shalom to the cleavers, right? Shalom to the commandment keepers, the believers. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and play the blowing of the shofar.
You lagging a little bit out.
Oh. Man, the blowing of the shofar. Let's get started with this lesson. So this lesson is gonna be brought to you by YouTube, and it's a lesson from a podcast entitled "The Israelite Indeed Podcast." The Israelite Indeed Podcast, man, y'all go check that podcast out. Right, it's right here at the top. The Israelite Indeed Podcast. This episode had Bishop Nathaniel, who's no stranger to the scene, who is the leader of IUIC, Israelite United in Christ. And during this segment, they talked about some things that the Black community does wrong. And one of those things is having the idea of snitches get stitches, right? Or protecting the wicked, right? And when you protect the wicked, man, the nation only gets worse from that, right? The nation don't get better from protecting the wicked. That's just only going to encourage others to be wicked and cover up those that are wicked and cause those that are wicked to be comfortable being wicked, right? So we're gonna watch a few minutes or a minute or two of this fair use, and then we'll get into these scriptures.
Regardless of what you call us, we're the only race that keeps a safe haven for wickedness. We're the only race that pretty much does that. I'll give an example. When I worked for the police department.
Shout out to the bishop, man. That's a great way to say it. We're the only place or the only nation that keeps a safe haven for wickedness, right? We're the only ones that do that. We'll turn a blind eye to wickedness. Did y'all see who shot up that car? Nah, I ain't see it. I ain't see. Did y'all see who stole that chicken out of Walmart? Nah, I ain't see nobody. We're the only ones that, you know, provide a safe haven for wickedness. Y'all saw who stole Buddy rims? Nah, I don't know. I ain't see none. No one we saw this stuff. No one we witnessed this stuff. No one we heard about it. Right? No one we know who did these things.
8-year-old girl got raped in Brooklyn. Me and my team, we putting out Crime Stoppers all in the community. You know, brothers, black men tore the signs down, said, "We don't snitch." Yeah. I just wanted to bust a cap. I'm like, what is wrong with our people? Yeah. An 8-year-old girl got raped, and you don't want to help us? They said no. Yeah. Snitches get stitches. Yeah. Which is against God's law. Give me that Leviticus 5:1. Snitches get stitches. We gotta.
And I wanted to say this too, right? Snitches get stitches until it's close to you. When it's close to you, you want everybody to tell the truth when it hits home, right? Something happened to your daughter, you would want everybody to say what's up, right? But when it doesn't happen to you, we don't love each other like we love ourselves, right? And I will say this too, in the black community, some people in the black community, they take the snitches get stitches thing to a whole nother level because something can happen to them personally and they still won't tell. And they feel like they're a real one for that.
Yeah.
They can get stabbed up, shot up. The police asking who did it, right? They say, I don't know. Knowing dang well they know.
Most people, just listening to people's experiences, even inside prison, they say that all the other nations don't play about several things, right? That's rape and pedophilia, right? They say if they find out anybody of their ethnicity is doing rape or pedophilia or is in for rape or pedophilia, they're going to handle it. We all know what that means. But a lot of them say, yeah, the blacks are weird. They don't really operate like that. Most of the black gangs, they'll let you in, even if you've known to rape somebody or something like that. They go by a different set of rules, right? It's just to land me back on what he's saying is that for some reason, black people love protecting wickedness. You know what I'm saying? They would rather, they love protecting wickedness. I'll leave it at that.
God, man. They love protecting wickedness, right? They won't say who did it. They won't say who done it, right? They won't snitch, and they will kind of glorify and respect the person that did it, right? Almost like the more dangerous you are, the more respect you get, which is the concept we should be giving to the Most High. We know that the Most High is dangerous, and so we give him his respect. But now we got respect unto men. Why do we have respect unto men? Because we cover up their wickedness, right?
Come out of that foolishness. This is what God said. Read that. The book of Leviticus, chapter 5 and verse 1. And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing, and there's a witness, whether he have seen or known of it, watch this, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity. If you don't tell what you saw or know of, that's good. You got to bear the judgment. Meaning, if I see a murder and I'm not going to say nothing, then you see me, I get put to death one day. Yeah. That's what this is saying. Yeah. If you don't tell, you're going to bear the judgment. The black community, we make a safe place for whores and thoughts, whoremongers, pimps. Yeah.
Why? Because we know we know Jasmine cheated on her husband, but ain't nobody gonna say nothing for a few reasons. Because she might cheat on him with me next, or because hey, that ain't my business. If I tell her husband, he gonna think I'm a hating ass Negro, right? That's how we think, right? So we make room for whores and whoremongers. We know Jamal done cheated on his wife, right? With 2 or 3 girls. We ain't gonna say nothing, even though Jamal my homeboy, I'm not even gonna check him on it. I ain't even gonna. His wife is my homegirl. That's my sis. I ain't even gonna tell her about it, right? I'm hiding his wickedness, man. I know for a fact Keon just robbed that store up the street, that corner store, and that that corner store, that corner store belonged to Darian Granddad, and he want to know who robbed it. I can't say that Keon robbed that store. Why? Respect of persons, and we love covering up wickedness. We allow thieves, robbers, and whores to to be comfortable in society, right? Bring danger to society.
Drug dealers, like Biggie Smalls said, what is I sell drugs to feed my family. Yeah. Oh, so you can kill mine as long as your family's okay. And they go, yeah, right. There you go. No, that's not okay. That's not okay. So these are the type of things in Israel Not in Christ. When we go around, we try to correct our people, bring them back to the proper way. Like it says in Isaiah 30, walk ye in it. This is the way. You know what I'm talking about? Yep. Isaiah 30, 20, yep. Somewhere around there. Yep. We try to correct the people, and people get angry with us. You know, churches have come out to physically attack us.
Hey, churches do it too. They cover up for their pastor. They cover up for the people in their church. They cover up all different type of sins, man. The pastor he's a pedophile. Yeah. The pastor done cheated on his wife. Yeah. The first lady done cheated on the pastor. Yeah. The choir director is homosexual. Yeah. Everybody stay quiet about it though. And then when all the men start becoming homosexual in the church, now guess what? And now it's because y'all done made it comfortable for these wicked people to stay in society when you're supposed to be snitching. And because of that, because you're not snitching, your salvation is at jeopardy. All right, so let's get into these precepts, man. We're going to start at the top with the brother Denal. Let's start at Matthew 7:15.
Cons Matthew 7:15, it says, beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves.
Right. So I had some talking points I wanted to get out. Right. One of the talking points was just this. It says animals snitch when a predator is coming. The birds start chirping. Dogs may start barking. The cattle start running when the roaring lion comes. Right. Even it's in nature. It's innate for animals to snitch. They let other animals know when predators are coming, right? They let even when you look into the waters and you look at fish, they let you know when a shark is coming. They swim in the opposite way. When the lion is coming, everybody scatters, right? You be like, why them birds flying so fast? Where they going? Then you look the other way. It's kind of like that black people effect. When all black people start running, then everybody just start running, right? That's in nature. You hear the birds start warning people. These birds going crazy, right? These dogs going crazy. Why these dogs are professional snitchers. It's in their blood, right? And God made the earth like that. The earth will snitch. Even you get signs of when a storm is about to come. The earth will snitch. It's in the earth to snitch, man. So just like this precept says, beware of false prophets, right? Beware of liars. That's what it's saying. But if we cover up the scammers and the liars and the thieves, hey, you're not going to know who's who. But it says, beware of them. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. You got to warn the people that wolves are coming. Hey, that's a wolf right there. Who am I to know that you talking, to know that you are a sheep and you eating grass next to a wolf, and I'm not gonna say nothing or do nothing to you, bro? I'm not gonna be like, hey, bro, that's a wolf right there. That's a coyote right there. I'd be fake for that. That means your blood is on my hands because you know. But anyway, let's get the next precept. Deuteronomy 13:8.
Deuteronomy 13:8. Thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him. Neither shalt thou I pity him. Neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him.
Right? I'm reading this because we should not conceal wicked people. We should not pity wicked people. We should not spare them. We always talk about Isaiah 58:1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up your voice like a trumpet. I'm not gonna say nothing. That's not what Isaiah 58 is saying. It's saying to lift up your voice like a trumpet, spare not, right? And you should not conceal them. You should not hide them, right? You should not make them feel comfortable that that nobody's gonna find out. You shouldn't conceal them and put them in your bosom and put them in your house and make sure that they don't get caught, right? These are things that you should not do. But why do we do them? I got some more talking points, right? Why do we do them? Because a lot of us have that slave master mentality. We feel like if we tell on them, we're giving them over to the slave master. And we don't want to feel like we're giving our own people up to the slave master, right? That's taught to us in slavery. Snitching allows a safe environment for a nation from predators, right? So when we snitch, it makes our nation safer because we will know who's a predator and either kick them out or stay away from them, right? But if you don't snitch, right, that nation or that government or that habitat is not safe. You need snitches for a long living, healthy environment. But go ahead, Obadiah.
I was gonna say, like in the scriptures, when the Israelites, when our people chose to free the murderer, they had a choice to free Christ or free the murderer. I thought his name was Barabbas, or what his name was. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Barabbas, right? But they chose to free him, right? They chose to free him even though they knew what he was doing. So that just shows, man, a lot of our people like that today, they'll choose to be around a person that they know is a murderer or a person that's a thief, and they'll be cool with him. But the person that's really low key and really trying to help people, that's the person they want locked up a lot of times.
Come on, man. Salakia. Come on, man. Let's get this next precept. Ezekiel 33:6.
God, it's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, and verse number 6. It says, "But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand."
Right, man. So I'm gonna rephrase this for the lesson. It says, and I'm gonna rephrase it like this: but if the watchman see the sin come and tell not, and the people be not warned of that sin, if the sin come and that sin overcomes anybody else, then that person will be taken in their iniquity, but the blood will be upon that person. So this is what it comes down to. When you hide somebody's sin and you don't warn people of that sin becomes contagious. We're heading into unleavened bread, right? A little leaven leavens the whole lump. You don't tell nobody, hey, it's a little leaven left right there, bro. Guess what? That leaven's going to be able to spread, and it's going to leaven the whole lump. And you're going to wonder where that came from. But it's because you allowed a little bit of sin. This is why the Most High had to move the way he did in the Old Testament. He had to cut a lot of things off. He had to open up the earth and swallow people up. He had to cause sickness. He had to strike down, because heading to the promised land, he did not want any sin to defile it. He did not want any sin to come and multiply into the earth, which, inevitably it happened. But that's why we're striving for the kingdom and for salvation. But to get that salvation, you got to practice snitching, man. Practice snitching, man. Be that dude, man. Practice snitching. Make sure people keep their integrity, because that's what it boils down to, is integrity, which we all should have for ourselves in the first place. But we'll get to that. All right, let's get Leviticus 5:7.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 5 and verse 7. And if he be not able to bring a lamb, then he shall bring for his trespass which he hath committed.
That's not what I want. I think it was yeah. Even though I think Bishop Nathaniel read it already. Let's read Leviticus 5:1.
Leviticus 5:1. And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing, and is a witness whether he has seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity.
Right, man. If you see some, or if you know it to be true, and you don't say nothing, man, you're gonna bear that iniquity for that sin. It's gonna come back on you, right? Because we all know we feel guilty when we don't say something, bro. I know in culture, we may not say nothing, right? We may not tell people. We may not, put it out there, because when we do, we feel guilt and we feel guilty. Man, I should have said something. And then when something blows up, we like, man, I could have said something, man. I could have made a difference, man. I don't know why I didn't speak up. Yeah, man, bro, I was about to say something, but I felt it wasn't my place, right? And this is the thing that tears down movements, it tears down communities, it tears down nations, is being too afraid to speak up. Because when you do speak up, you're gonna have people that say that you're a sellout, that you're a traitor, that you're not a brother, that you're not a sister. But when you're speaking up, that is literally abiding by the law and not suffering sin on that person or sin on other people. Right? Go ahead. And that would be love, by the way. Go ahead, Denal.
I was gonna see if I could share my screen before you get the last precept. Really quick. You already know what it is. I want to share this, man, because just to let me back on what Bishop Nathaniel said. Oftentimes, it seems like the blacks just don't care, man, about wickedness. You know what I'm saying? We love it, we protect it, we defend it, we uphold it, and sometimes we hide it. You know what I'm saying? Just another perspective of what he was saying and what it looks like, even inside of prison, right? I'm gonna play this real quick.
We run Texas prison. Like I tell you, like when you go to TDCJ, you have the Mexican gangs. We have all our benches. We run it. Only Mexicans could touch the TV, and that. Then you have the blacks. They have their own stuff. The whites don't got no say so. The units I've been on, I don't know on other units, but the units I've been on, they don't got no tables, they don't got no benches, they ain't got shit.
So what do?
They get raped by black people.
So I want to say something too right here, right? In prison, man, the ethnicity, the race thing, is upheld pretty significantly, right? Almost to the point where it's like, that's real life in there. You know what I'm saying? Like they operate in there how people want to operate in the free world. But the only reason why people don't operate like that in the free world is because they know, it's not good for business. But if hell break loose, they probably will operate like they do in prison, and that's what segregation. Everybody sticks with their own kind, stuff like that. But what he's about to go into is the separation of morals between the ethnicities that's in there, right? He already said that the whites don't got nothing, and typically they're getting raped by the black people, right? What else is he gonna say?
Like good white guys?
They get raped. Like most of the times, like the units I've been on, I seen them getting raped by blacks.
And who are the black gangs in the prison?
You have Bloods, Crips, GDs, Peace Stones. You have Mandingo Warriors. You have a lot of gangs, right? Like every gang runs different, right?
Fair use.
And yeah, like we don't accept sex offenders. The units I've been on, the blacks accept sex offenders. They'll be their Bloods, their Crips, and they publicize it like, man, that's the homie. Like that's live. Like they earn their stripes for doing that shit. Like that shit's player. Like they do weird ass shit. Like we don't. The blacks don't. all our homeboys, they're gonna have fresh whites on. They're gonna be fresh. They're gonna conduct themselves like men. Our rules ain't rules. Like I told you, we're not a gang. The way we set everything down is their morals. It's a code of ethic, how to conduct yourself, to make sure your bed's clean, make sure your hygiene's proper. Don't catch that pussy. Mandatory.
And so he goes on to also talk about how not only do they accept sex offenders, but they accept rapists too, right? And he's just showing how so far gone the so-called black community is, to where we follow a multitude to do wickedness and we uphold that wickedness and whatnot as well. And you know, we don't see anything wrong with it, versus by operating with some sense of morals. And by and large, that's never how we were supposed to act. You know what I'm saying? We were always supposed to act with the code of ethics and morals. When you see these, when like the Mexicans, right? He was saying how they move in there. It's different. They go by morals and stuff like that, right? And you might say, you know, because the Mexicans, he goes on in the interview to say that they handle those type of people that come in. If you're Mexican, you're a sex offender. If you're Mexican, you're a rapist or whatever. They gonna handle you. They gonna take your life. So and when you look at that, it's kind of like taking it back to the old days, to the ancient days, back into the Old Testament. That's what happened back then, right? But you see that when it comes to the so-called African American or Black American, those morals have just disappeared, right? And like he was saying, instead of looking down upon it, he was saying that the people inside are looking at it like that, you know, doing some of those things is lit. You know what I'm saying? It's live. And it's just madness how far we have gone away from our heritage. Kind
of, man, you know, snitches get stitches is a phrase, man, probably older than me. You know what I'm saying? And people would rather, when you think about the phrase, people would rather beat you up for telling the truth than applaud you from telling the truth. They'd rather send you to the hospital for telling the truth, right, than applaud you for telling the truth, which in turn scares you. So you go down to that community, nobody's talking, nobody's speaking up, right? Because everybody's scared to get sent to the hospital, right? Everybody's scared, right? Yeah. So let's get this last precept. This last precept I got, I'm gonna read it in the KJV and then I'm gonna read it in the MSG, right? So Leviticus 6:2.
Leviticus 6:2. It says, if a soul sin and commit a trespass against the Lord and lie to his neighbor.
I wanted to finish this train of thought that just came to my mind. And so when you're beating people up and sending them to the hospital or sending them to the grave for not speaking up, right? What does that do? That leads you to be like, well, the only thing else to do is just to get comfortable with it and glorify it. And that's what ends up happening, man. You just end up turning a blind eye and acting like the person. You literally lie to yourself and act as if the person never committed it. And you start hanging out with them. And even though they did something crazy, right, you just act like and pretend like it never happened, right? And now that allows for everybody to just be wicked and have skeletons in their closet, right?
That's and I know, no, I was gonna say too, I know it's a hot topic right now, right? But going back to disturbing the divine nine, man, like that's something that's very prevalent even in Greek life, to the where, you know, you'll be in the fraternity. First of all, you got to swear an oath to always protect your brother, right? And in that being said, that's right, wrong, or indifferent. You got a lot of people that go to these frat parties, end up drugging girls, raping girls, and all this stuff. And you now you feel forced, like you got to protect them and lie on their behalf, even though you know for a fact that this thing happened, right? And it's the same thing, the same concept of snitches get stitches. And it's just another way of oppressing our own people, because that's what it is oppression against our own people.
God, man. Oppression and extortion, because a lot of times what people will do is they'll find out you did something wrong, and another way that they'll oppress you is by blackmailing you, right? And they'll say, if you don't want this to come out, you need to give me this. You need to do this, X, Y, and Z. So it just leaves room for multiple wickedness, man, multiplying sin. All right, let's read this real quick from the top, Leviticus 6:2.
Leviticus 6:2.
Oh.
He said, if a soul sin and commit a trespass against the Lord and lie to his neighbor and that which was delivered him to keep, or in fellowship, or in a thing taken away by violence, or have deceived his neighbor,
Right.
or have found that which was lost and lieth concerning it, and sweareth falsely in any of all these that a man doeth, sinning therein. Then it shall be, because he has sinned and is guilty, that he shall restore that which he took violently away, or the thing which he had deceitfully gotten, or that which was delivered him to keep, or the lost thing which he found.
Come on, man. Right. And so the King English can get a little tricky to read, man. You may get lost in the woodworks of that. So that's why I wanted to read this MSG version. Brother Isaiah, if you could read this version for me.
Reading through 6.
You're gonna let me highlight it. You're just gonna read this part.
This is Leviticus chapter 6, starting at verse 1 in the MSG, and it reads, God spoke to Moses, when anyone sins by betraying trust with God, by deceiving his neighbor regarding something entrusted to him.
So right there, man, it says the sin is betraying trust with God. So you may think you're just, betraying your trust with man, but God see it as betraying trust with him, right? Salaki, keep going.
Or by robbing, or by cheating, or by threatening him, or if he has found something lost and lies about it and swears falsely regarding any of these sins that people commonly commit.
Right. It says commonly commit, because these things happen all the time, man. You know for a fact somebody dropped some and you picked it up. You want to lie and act like, nah, I didn't know it belonged to you, or nah, this was mine. I had this since yesterday, or you want to rob somebody, or you want to cheat, or you want to threaten somebody for them to make you give them something, and it wasn't given out of the kindness of their heart. All this boils down to is you. So before it can even get to the whole snitches get stitches thing, you got to have integrity yourself, right? Because the whole thing about snitching is there would be no need to snitch if everybody had integrity themselves. Personally, that means you would snitch on yourself, right? And you would get salvation for that. God would be like, you know what? He has integrity. Keep going though.
It says, when he sins and is found guilty, he must return what he stole or extorted, restore what was entrusted to him, return the lost thing he found, or anything else about which he swore falsely.
Right. So you swearing falsely, you steal something, you lie about something, you took something by force, right? You've been found guilty. You got to reverse that, man. That's part of your integrity. You got to keep your integrity, and it'll keep you from multiplying sin, because now you did something, you were trying to hide it. Now you're going to expect your friends and your family to hide it. Now when they hide it, they're going to make it seem like it's all good. And now that sin has gone overlooked, and it's caused other people to do the same thing. And now everybody just stealing and robbing from each other, all because of a lack of integrity. So you got to be able to snitch, man. Snitch on yourself, snitch on the people around you to get your salvation. When it comes to this community, now, it's a gray area when when you want to, give people up to the to the police. It's a gray area. But when it comes to our people, for sure, if you know somebody did, and go ahead and let somebody know, man. You know what I'm saying? Get it out of your hands. You may be like, well, if I say that, he might get beat up. But if I say that, hey, you do your part and let God do whatever he gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Try to have some tact and some wisdom with it, but ultimately you want the blood off of your hands. You know what I'm saying? Don't care about if people look at you as not being a real one, or look at you as being fake, or look at you as not being loyal. You loyal to God. We just read how it says that when you do these things, you're betraying trust with God, not with man. You looking at the carnal, but you got to look at the spiritual, man. And God wants you to open your mouth, spare not, right? He wants you to judge righteous judgment, right? He wants you to cry aloud, right? So that's all I have for tonight, man. For Snitches Get Salvation Freestyle Friday. Do brothers have anything else they want to say before we close it out?
Yeah, I got one thing, man. You know, it's okay to be a snitch, man. You know, like the brother said earlier in the video, in our community, we make it popular to hide that thing and not say nothing. But we need to have a motto, man. See something, say something. Because at the end of the day, that's the only way we're gonna reverse a lot of what happens. Brothers made a good point talking about how until it hits home, you really don't care. But when it hit home, now you want everybody to, you know, be in furious as you are, you know. But if you want to get to that point, you got to start being a person that's willing to stand bold against wickedness, speak out against it, and be willing to, you know, say something when you see something, right? Say something when you see something, man. You know, warn our people, help us out, man, so we can, you know, get out of this captivity. But mighty lesson, how you?
See something.
That's that hurt, man, when you know when it does hit home, man, and you probably like on trial or something, and nobody wants to take the witness stand on your behalf and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And your fate is ultimately judged, you know, because nobody wants to be a snitch, man. Now you got to go to prison for so many odd years, man, because the community has failed you. You know what I'm saying? And that's not proper judgment. That's not justice at all.
Yeah, man, we seen movies like that, you know, where the neighborhood is scared of the bad dude, and everybody go to court, and after court, they go up to the person, man, I'm sorry, man, I want to help you out, man, but man, I gotta protect mine. I gotta protect my family too, man. You come after me, man. And so that's how, you know, stuff gets drawn out. And instead of the community coming together to get that person thrown in jail, the community comes together to hide them, right? Because they're scared, because they're fearful. And we should not fear man, we should fear God, right? But with that, man, I'm gonna say Shabbat Shalom. Shalom to all the good people out there, man. If you're not gathering, you're scattering, like our big brother Christ said. So gather together, O nation not desired. We're the hopeful elect, bringing in this Sabbath day. And we say once more, Shalom.